3.5 hours, finally find the arrow. And after we found the arrow, we found blood a little bit further, and that's it. And then we've just jumped a buck running up on the side of this hill here, which looked like him and looked like he just had a little spot on his shoulder there and he was running off. Definitely not the ending to the Arizona story that I want.
Jason wishes he could spend a few more days chasing after Coues deer, but his friends will be in Texas soon and he has a long drive ahead of him. Headhunter Chronicles is brought to you by Zeiss. We make it visible. Epic Broadheads, performance, penetration, and a payday for your taxidermist. Elite Archery, respect the game. Outdoor Edge. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Scott Archery, everyone's #1. CVA, it's just a better gun. This week on Headhunter Chronicles, Jason is hunting Aoudad in Texas at Marani River Ranch.
What's the plan for in the morning? Are we going to sit at blinds first and just do glassing or what?
You know, obviously we're hunting Aoudad, and really the key is you got to be patient because they're tough animals and shot placement is key. So wait for that perfect shot, slightly quartering away. They're really tough animals, so let's just all be patient, and you're going to see plenty of Aoudad.
If in the morning times, if we glass them up on the hills, can we go do stock on them? Or?
Yeah, you can go spot and stock, and then we'll probably do that throughout the hunt.
Okay.
What's the best way of judging?
Just look for about a 20-incher.
Oh,
me and Brian are going to be shooting 30s.
Okay.
For about a 20-incher.
I like to start out small
Kind of a
anyways.
little simple horn like this. Just look like a banana.
We consider the Aoudad probably one of the toughest animals to hunt on the ranch. I mean, hands down, it is.
It's a tough hunt.
Yeah, they're spooky too.
Yeah, spooky as heck.
So it should be pretty easy then, huh?
It's going to be a tough hunt.
Yeah, we don't mean to trump you guys up, but you guys really do need to be prepared when we get out there.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hunting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We just got here to Marani Ranch and we're going to chase Aoudad, so I'm going to shoot my bow a couple times, and this first evening we're just going to go sit in the ground blind.
After shooting their bows, the guys head out for their first evening of the hunt.
Some pretty rugged looking little mountains, all nasty looking, and it's kind of West Texas country. That's where these Aoudad live. And they say there's a big herd of them going to come up in these mountains up in here. They come back over this side to a little water trough that's right here and get water every evening. So that's why they got to set up in this ground blind to see if we can catch one coming in. There's going to be a big bunch of them, so we're going to get settled in and hopefully we can get one. Every time I've hunted them, I got skunked. Two young rams, but it looks like there's 5 or 6, maybe a little more. Hopefully they'll work their way down. They're actually coming on that ridge this way, so who knows where they're headed, but they're just traveling right now. They were just walking along that skyline. Pretty cool. So at least we're seeing sheep. Here comes an Aoudad. That's the first one that's came in. I don't know why he didn't drink. He came in here and messed around and looked at us. I don't think he saw us, but I know he saw this blind and probably knew something's up. He's definitely not a big one. He's looked like, I'm gonna guess 22 inches, but he still had a gap about that big. When you see hair going through there, he's not a shooter. Most of the time, once they become a shooter, they just have like a scab right through there. So definitely not a shooter yet. So hopefully he wasn't the scout and he's going back up there to tell the big boys. Hopefully he's just gonna meander off on his own and do his own thing. We gotta get ready, it's about prime time. Well, I think we're officially out of light. It's pretty much dark. We're gonna start hitchhiking back to camp. We're able to see a few aoudad here and there and a couple whitetails, so we'll get back after it in the morning. We've been sitting here all morning next to this little water tank and haven't seen anything. Nothing's came in at all. I've chased aoudad before, never, got skunked and never got one. And I was excited this morning, hoping we'd sit down here and have them come into this water hole, but we've been sitting here for a few hours, haven't seen nothing. And with this fog settled in, I'm gonna go sneak around these ridges, see if we can't find something up on top. Right there.
The fog was heavy most of the day, cutting down on visibility and making the hunt very difficult.
I don't know, we got in here and the wind was a touch wrong. But we've got them walking right down below us. They don't sound alarmed. It's just like almost like they were walking single file, just making a lot of noise as they walk. But this fog's not helping us at all. We can't pick them up in the brush. Between the fog and the brush, who knows? So I don't want to get in there too much and blow them out of here. So we're gonna sit tight and see if we just catch some movement somewhere. Hey, there's our group of aoudad, kind of cruising up that little hillside there. A couple lambs and ewes in there and a couple young rams. We're gonna keep looking.
Walking the West Texas terrain all day can definitely muster up an appetite, and the weather is not cooperating. So Jason heads back to the lodge for dinner and to rest up for the following morning.
This morning we got a little bit of rain, so we'll check it out and go sit in the blind, see what we can find.
As daylight approaches, the rain seems to fall even harder. Luckily for Jason, John and Cole had a few different blinds set up where he could get out of the rain. It wasn't too long before he spotted some movement in the brush.
It's a Corsican ram, let's try it. Wasn't even paying attention, and all of a sudden a Corsican ram come running in here, just out of nowhere. Just I don't even know where he came from. All of a sudden we looked up and there he is. It's pouring down rain, and I just wanted to shoot something. That happened fast. All right, I don't know if this rain's gonna let up, so we're gonna go try to find him anyways. That's pretty cool right there. Just never know what you're gonna do. We're up here aoudad hunting and there's a few exotics around, so when you're in Texas this time of year, it's just animals of opportunity, just having fun. He didn't go far at all. Look at the horns on him. Holy cow. That's a cool little critter. I thought they were way bigger in body. That's a little bitty body. I never shot a Corsican before. I've seen them around, just always hunting whitetails and stuff in Texas. Never shot a Corsican. That's the cool thing about Texas and all the exotics here at the Maroni River Ranch. Hunting season's over. February, March, you're chomping at the bit with nothing to do until turkey season gets here. I always come down to Texas and fill my freezer full of exotic meat. Got myself a Corsican, something I've never shot before. All right, well, let's get out of the rain. Hopefully this place clears up a little bit and we can get back after the aoudad.
It's been slow all morning with this rain. I think most of the animals are just kind of holding up in the brush right now, which is what we need to be doing too.
Yeah,
About
no
ready
kidding.
to get out of here. He's
Yeah.
ready to go warm up and get some breakfast in him.
Let's do it. Let's go get some lunch.
Sure.
Although the Corsican was not the targeted species, it was an animal of opportunity for Jason. And he finds opportunity just too hard to pass up. This segment is brought to you by Epic Broadheads, performance, penetration, and a payday for your taxidermist.
All right, it's day 3, our evening hunt. You know, we got us a Corsican ram this morning in the rain. It looks like the weather's gonna clear up, so we've got some sheep trails up in here. We're surrounded in this bowl. We're gonna get up here, get settled in, and see if we can find us a ram. I'm gonna settle in right in here in between this cactus and this cedar. Just get snuggled in here. We've got a big trail that these aoudad have been walking on. Looks like it's about 20 yards. And we should be able to see these guys when they're working these ridges. We're just kind of midway up on this ridge, and hopefully they'll work their way down into the bottom where they've been going to feed.
The weather has finally started to clear up, giving Jason some more confidence about this evening's hunt.
Two groups, huh? We actually got 2 groups of sheep coming down, or aoudad, whatever you want to call them. And both of them have shooters in it. One of them's got 2 shooters in it, and the other one's got 1 shooter in it. One of them is a giant. That's really cool. He's throwing dirt all over him. He's using his horns, like the flat spot on his horns, and he's just like raking the dirt and throwing it back on him. Just sitting there, just thrashing. There must be a ewe coming in, because John was telling us that the rut is mainly in October, but he says they can actually come in and out all year long. He says they can actually cycle 4 times and end up with 4 babies. So that's pretty cool. There could be a ewe running around with 4 little lambs. There's a bunch of aoudad everywhere. They're coming off that ridge right there too. There's a big bowl, and we're surrounded by it in a canyon with a big bowl, and we can just see these sheep on both sides of us. I can hear him right there. I hear sheep coming. First one that comes right through that hole, I'm shooting. I can see brown movement right there.
With darkness approaching quickly, Jason wastes no time getting on the blood trail.
Looks like pretty good penetration. Man, that's a tough animal. Slam him right there and it just, whew. I got good blood here, lots of blood. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I got blood and I got the frickin' shakes. All right, let's get on this blood. Blood here. So there's blood here. There's blood right here. For a tough animal. I didn't when I seen it hit him, it was good enough penetration. We got really good blood. It's foamy and everything else, but I think with it getting dark like this, we're gonna pull out and just leave them till in the morning. Just don't take any chances of jumping them and running them up anymore through this brush.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Can Cooker. Cater to your crowd. The guys decided to back off the blood trail last night and let the search rest overnight. Now Jason is back at it this morning with hopes of finding his first aoudad.
So we're back on this track here. We've got his blood. He's leaving a lot of blood, but these guys are tough critters, and I didn't feel like I got the penetration that I wanted, so we pulled out of here last night in the dark and waited for it to get daylight, and we're gonna get back after it and follow this blood up the mountain here and see if we can find him, get our hands on him. Here we go. These guys are just brutal tough. We followed them, I mean, a giant blood trail all the way up to the top of the hill. Now it's made almost like a crazy eight. He's coming back downhill. And now we're trying to pick up the blood again. We get to where there's a lot of blood, then we get to where there's no blood, then a lot of blood. So I don't know. Talking to John last night when we pulled out of here, he just kind of giggled and said these things are super tough. He said he's seen them with the lung shot before, live for a couple of days. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed we find this guy. We were walking up this hillside following blood and I just spotted him. Actually, he's right here about 40 yards away. I mean, I can't believe how tough they are. This thing is, we've been walking on, I mean, it's like 10:30 right now. It's unbelievable. I don't even know how far we've walked right now on a steady walk all over blood. I mean, just walking and walking, blood everywhere. He's down. Yeah, these things are stout. Holy cow. And look at this. It's about 10:30 and he is not stiff. This guy's not been dead long. I mean, he's stiffening up a little bit, but holy cow. Yeah, a lot of people say that these are their own species. Some people call them a sheep, some people call them just a plain old aoudad, and some people say they're a goat, but oh, crazy. I don't think he's related to either one of them. I actually think he's his own little critter, man. I say little, he's a big critter. This thing's gotta be 250 pounds. Just when he came in and stood there like that, just slightly quartering away, I was just, in my mind, I was like, you're done. And no, he showed me that he said, no, I'm tough. You know, predominantly this is an exotic ranch. They hunt a lot of deer and a lot of exotics here. And the aoudad have just populated like crazy on this ranch. They've populated all over West Texas, New Mexico, and just has a ton of hunting opportunities. They come from Chad and Sudan, all the way across Morocco and Egypt, all that stuff up there, and none of those places have actually hunting season right now. There's plenty of them to go hunt, but there's no hunting season, no permits, no way to get there, and with all the violence and terrorism going on, you might as well do it in right here at the Marani River. We've had some spectacular opportunities with the rifle. If we were rifle hunting or muzzleloader hunting, we probably would have got one in the first few days up in these rocks, just watching them come across. They act just like sheep do, or just act like, you know, hunting some type of goat. You know, they're always kind of single file line coming through these rocks, crashing and making noise. You know, you hear them easy just coming through there, but it's just, this terrain is tough hunting, and then try to pull it off with a bow is even tougher. Get out the old outdoor edge, the new Razor Light, and we're gonna chop this thing up and get them off the mountain.
Next week on Headhunter Chronicles, Jason will be in Scotland on his quest to complete the John McNabb.